The end of FIFA 23 is fast approaching, and if you still haven't been able to play with the players that you want to play with, well, now is the time to do so, because we are going to be going through 3 of the trading methods that you must be using between now and the end of the year. These are simple, very basic for you to go through, but can be very profitable and will get you to the point of where you can finally play with the players that you want. But if you want to be able to play with the players that you want and you do not want to go through these trading methods, then there really is only one option: SkyCoach. SkyCoach offers cheap, fast and reliable FIFA 23 coins so that you don't need to grind a game. Instead, you could just do the things that you want to do. Go for a massive pack opening, build your dream team, do whatever. There is a link in the description down below, and if you use Fnatic at checkout, you'll also get yourself a 10% discount.
Nice.
Now, let's actually start talking about the trading methods. The one that I've always been using, and you're probably sick of me talking about it because we say it from day 1 of FIFA 23 all the way up until today. This is bulk bidding. We're not going to go too far in depth because of course we have talked about this quite a bit, but this is a method that I will always go to just because it is extremely simple. If there is a player at 1,000 coins, you can go and find them at 700 on a bid on as many of those cards as possible so that you have a full watch list. And even though once they expire, it may take 5, 10, 15 minutes depending on who you're looking at, and you will not get all 50 unless you're extremely lucky, you will get 20 to 30. And even though on each card you're not making a ridiculous amount of money, because you're able to get 20, 30, 40 of these deals, you're able to go and sell those on and make a decent amount of profit, giving you 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 coins every single hour, if they do sell. One thing that I also do with this type of trading method is I will find the lowest buy now, and let's say hypothetically it is 1,000 coins. I will list some at 1,000 coins, some at 1,100 and some at 1,200. Chances are all the ones that I list at 1,000 will sell. Some of the ones that I list at 1,100 might sell, and very few will sell at 1,200. But it means I'm able to maximize my profit because I would have been able to go and sell every single one at 1,000, but by doing it this way, I'm able to get a few extra coins at 1,100 and 1,200. A very good method to use, and the fact that we're coming towards the end of the year means that for a lot of rare gold players, they are overlooked. Most people have these crazy special teams, so you can go through and bid on these rare gold players, but they're still needed for SBCs, and we cannot forget that people are still starting Ultimate Team. In fact, there's an increase in the amount of people starting Ultimate Team at this stage due to them restarting their accounts just before EA Sports FC, and that is why they will sell. But this is not the trading method that brings in the most coins. Something that does even better and takes just as much time is old special cards. There were special cards at the beginning of FIFA 23 that were released, whether that be one-to-watches, any types of team of the weeks, any other types of promos that were going on at the time. And those special cards, let's be real, are somewhat outdated. There's not as many people looking for those deals as what there once was, but there's also another thing that happens. The second that these cards got released, they were available within packs, but the second that that promo ended, that team of the week ended, they were taken away from packs. And as time's gone on, whenever there's been an SBC that's been released, players have needed certain types of cards, so they would buy them. In a lot of cases, team of the weeks are used quite often, so they'll go and find these cheap team of the weeks players, go and throw them into SBCs and submit them. Once they're gone forever. We also can't forget the amount of people that did start Ultimate Team at the beginning of the year, was able to pack or even buy some of these players, only for them to stop playing Ultimate Team because they don't enjoy it. But when they do stop, of course, they're not listing all of their cards onto the transfer market. They've just stopped. They're still within their club. Those players are also gone forever. So when you go back through and look at Team of the Week 1 and select some of these players, you will realize that there's next to none of them on the market. Now, why is this important? Well, it becomes extremely easy for you to compare player prices. If you go and find someone and let's say that there are only 3 cards available of the card that you're searching for, 2 of them are listed at 30,000 and 1 of them is listed at 20,000, you're able to buy the one at 20,000, list it higher but still undercut the other 2 cards that remain on the transfer market. This will mean that your card is the lowest, but if you were to sell it, you're also still able to make a decent amount of profit. So what I would do is buy that one at 20,000 and then list it up at 27, 28,000. Whenever someone is going to look for that player, they'll buy them and I'm able to make a very good amount of coins. Now the method itself isn't anything too crazy and does require a bit of work, but you're likely to find deals every 2 or 3 players. Some given just a couple thousand coins, others given something a bit more. There's times when I've been able to make 10-15k profit after the EA tax. So what you'll do is go and use a site such as Footbin or FootWiz. These are player databases and they have a list of all the players within game. They also have a team of the week. They share the previous team of the weeks, the number that it was, and the order that they were released, including every other promo. So go all the way back to team of the week 1 and search each player's name in individually. With this, you do need to be somewhat careful because some of these cards did get released right at the beginning of the year, but they also were included as part of other promos. So some players may have a team of the week 1, but they may also have a team of the week 2 or a team of the week 3. And you just need to make sure that you're looking at the correct one and comparing the prices for the correct player. But typically, it's fairly easy. Type their name in, search them. You don't need to put in price parameters because most of them are extremely rare. Some of them are extinct. And if there is a considerable difference between the cheapest and the second cheapest, you'll buy the cheapest, list it slightly higher, just undercut, and keep on doing this until they sell. One of the best times to list these players is just before you go to bed. List them for 12 hours overnight, and by the time you wake up the following morning, chances are they will have gone. This is because most people forget to list their players overnight, so there becomes less of them. And that brings us to the final trading method. This is just special card trading in general. And with this one, normally I focus team of the weeks, icons, and also team of the seasons. Team of the seasons seems to be the best because they're the newest, and despite them being the newest, hype for them have already started to die down. So there tends to be a lot of them that you can buy for relatively cheap, but due to the new promos, there's just not as much of a buzz around them. And what I recommend, instead of just going into the transfer market and selecting the card type to be special, focus individually. So if you are trying to go for team of the weeks, select team of the weeks. If you're trying to go for icons, select icons. If you're trying to go for team of the seasons, select team of the seasons. If you want to look for something completely different out of what I normally use, then go and look for a different type of special card. But pretty much you want to focus in. And then you just search the transfer market. You'll go across each player individually and you're just looking for players with bids on. The reason that we look for players with bids on is because it's just a good indication. Yes, you could go through and compare every single card that's on every single page, but because we're looking at all the players that have special cards within a certain quality, it does mean that there's going to be a lot. The first page, you're going to have less than 30 seconds for you to compare each and every single one, depending what you're looking at. That's a time killer. And chances are you are going to be spending time on a deal which is not a good deal and actually miss out on something that could have potentially made you profit. An easy way to do this is to look for players with bids on, because it means that someone else has done the research for you. They've found a player that has a potentially good chance of being profitable and they've placed a bid. They wouldn't have placed a bid if there was a cheaper option for them to buy them on a buy now. So if you see a player with a bid on, you add them to your watch list. That is where you'll quickly go back to the transfer market, search that player by name, and go and find their lowest buy now. For some of these players, such as icons, because even though icons themselves have been in the game since day one, they aren't really common. There's a lot more team of the seasons for some of these team of the season players than there are for some of these icons. So if there's an icon which you're comparing, instead of having to back out, go into the transfer market and search their name to find the individual player, you could just compare their card. There'll be a couple pages worth max, and you'll be able to go and see their lowest buy now. Yet again, just like what we talked about with the old special card trader method, you're looking for price differences. If the current bid on a player is 90,000 coins, but the cheapest buy now is 110,000, you have enough room to place a bid at 90,500. And if you were to win that deal, you're going to be making a pretty decent amount of profit. Now, the thing with this one though, is it comes down to your bidding technique. What I like to do is, as it's approaching 30 seconds, that is when I'll place my first bid. But if it gets outbidded, what I'll do is take my time. I'll wait until it goes down to the last 5 seconds before I place a bid again. My goal here is not to just try and win the player by bidding the most because I want to make profit. I'm trying to frustrate the opponent that I'm bidding against. And because I have all the time in the world, it means that I'm happy to sit there, wait for it to go down to 5 seconds before placing a bid. Now, if my opponent also tries to go and do the same thing to me, and he waits until it goes down to 5 seconds and it's just this back and forth, occasionally I will bid multiple times in order to increase it, to make it appear as if there are more people bidding on this card than what there actually is. You're not going to win every single deal, but if you do it on enough cards, you will win probably about 3 out of 10. The key thing here is that these ones will be making a lot more profit compared to the likes of if you were going through the bulk bidding method. The bulk bidding method, you get a lot of deals, but for a very low price. Whereas with special card trading, you get fewer deals, but you can sell them at a much higher price, giving you a lot more profit. And these are the only 3 trading methods that I'm going to be using between now and the end of the year. Reason for this is because they are really simple to do and still very profitable. So use them, milk them, get as many coins as what you need, and then buy the players that you want, all before EA Sports FC is finally released. But anyway guys, I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'm going. So see ya.